Hi guys, so today I'm gonna be giving y'all study tips. This video is like long overdue because I've been getting a bunch of messages from people asking me, Simkita, how do you study? Simkita. And I've heard y'all. So today I'm finally gonna answer those questions. And you may be asking yourself, why would I take random advice from a stranger on TikTok? My bad. Because I'm a stranger that doesn't speak out of her butthole. So we're gonna get right into it. First and foremost, do not be me and study the night before a paper. Because that gets you nowhere. That gets you absolutely nowhere. You're gonna end up feeling burnt out. You're gonna end up feeling tired. You just don't. Which brings us to tip number 1. Have a proper study timetable. This is low-key a study method called spaced repetition. I started using a study timetable last year, term 1, and for final year exams. And let me tell you, I came in first for both those terms. So yes, have a proper study timetable that actually makes sense. And make it make sense to you, because you cannot tell yourself that you're going to study 3 times a week knowing very well that you struggle to study for 5 hours a week. I got the study timetable method from Miss Angela. I don't know how to pronounce her name. But that's another video for another day. Having a proper study time to avoid studying the night before a paper, okay? And keep to that timetable, which brings us to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is that you have to stay disciplined. With motivation, you get somewhere, but with discipline, you go far. Be disciplined when it comes to your studies. Do it happy, do it tired, do it sad, do it sick. Not all the time, you're going to burn yourself out. But just stay disciplined, and like I said, be realistic to when you can study. Because why? Discipline is key. Study tip number 3 is that you should have study methods that actually work for you and work for the subject that you're actually studying for. There are gazillion study methods that I can think of, alright? You have a plethora of options. There's the Pomodoro technique, there's mind maps, there's flashcards, there's spaced repetition. There's just so much that you can choose from. So you have no excuse. Not every single study technique works for every single person. Not every single study technique works for every subject. So find one that works for you and stick to it. Do your research on that study technique. Tip number 5 is summarize. That rhymed. That rhymed. Let me just show y'all the summaries that I had this term. Alright? These are my summaries. Yes, these were my summaries. And you're probably wondering, do I do this for every subject? I do. These are for geo. These were for life science. I don't know why there's so many. And these were for physics. Right? Yes. What I really try doing is just fit one whole topic onto one page, which is where summarizing plays a part. This is how I study, and I know this is not going to work for everyone, but basically I just make a summary within the summary. How do you do that, you ask? Well, I take my summaries and then I just highlight important information that's going to make up a sentence. For example, CFCs are chemicals which then rise and collect in the stratosphere. They release chlorine and split ozone molecules back into oxygen molecules and oxygen atoms. So within that sentence, those sentences, I highlighted CFCs, chemicals, rise and collect, stratosphere, release chlorine, split ozone molecules back, oxygen molecules, oxygen atoms. So I pretty much just highlight keywords that are going to make up a sentence that I will remember. This works for me. It will not work for everybody. Tip number 6, and you will never go wrong, is make use of flashcards. So, these were the flashcards that I made for physics this term, and I got the highest average in physics. So just make use of... I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. But just make use of flashcards and make sure that you regularly go over them. Alright? Tip number 7, listen and focus in class. Results may vary because some teachers expect your subject to be self-study. But most of the time, it really does help to just listen and focus in class. Because my babe, let me tell you, some information they will tell you on how they'll ask questions in the paper, on tips on what to focus on and what not to focus on. Results may vary because of certain teachers. I'm just saying. I should probably close my curtain because people from outside can actually see me. Anywho, so yes, be present in the class. I wasn't present all my life, but oh well. Tip number 8 is do a little something every day. When you get home and you're done with that homework, do an activity for math. Practice those math sums, do those physics or whatever's. Go over your flashcards, make at least a summary, like something. Do a little something every day because you are going to thank yourself later. Tip number 9, stay consistent. Consistency is key. So just remember to stay consistent when it comes to your studying. And I know sometimes we get a little overwhelmed with the homework and the studying. I get that. But that's where balancing everything just comes into play. But really, it's just trying to stay consistent that's going to get you somewhere. Tip number 10. Do not be afraid of failure. I'm going to leave you guys with a quote by Drake. Don't let success get to your head and don't let failure get to your heart. Failing is a part of success. Tip number 11, my babe, pray. Alright? Pray. Just keep praying. Have a prayer for like literally everything. I have a prayer for when I study. I have a prayer for homework. I have a prayer for before I write my paper. I have a prayer for after I write my paper. I have a prayer for before I get my results. Girl, just pray. Just ask the Holy Spirit of God just to help you get through it, ease your mind. Prayer helps a lot. It really, really does help. And lastly, sleep. I get that taking all-nighters nowadays is like, yeah, but it's really bad for you, genuinely. When you're feeling tired or burnt out after school, sleep. Take a nap. It will help. Your brain works better once you have slept. Not sleeping is quite literally as good as not studying at all. I said what I said and I don't take it back. The reason I say this is because your brain stores information better at night when you are asleep. And asleep does not mean 3 hours of sleep. I mean 78 hours of sleep. And I get that nowadays it's like not possible. Nah, I get that. But try, because your brain stores information into your long-term memory when you're asleep. And how I manage this is that when I don't get everything done in one night, I get as much done as possible, and then I just try and remember that. I just repeat it, which is another study method called repetition or active recall, actually. And then whatever I really did not get done, was not able to get stored into my memory, I just go over it in the morning before I get to school. So yes, I cram. It works for me. It works. But yes, my babe, get your sleep. Anywho, that comes to the end of our video. I really hope that this advice helped some of you guys just understand, or like, I hope you guys took something away from this. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments down below and I will really try my utmost best to get to all of them. I really hope I made sense in this. But yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed day and blessed night, blessed day. I don't know. Remember that Jesus Christ loves you. I love you. Have an amazing day, y'all. Mwah. Bye.